Two Cleveland area suspects are rounded up as the FBI breaks up a plot to blow up a federal building. Find out what their neighbors are saying. One boy's story may make you think twice about leaving your kids alone in your car, plus a way to erase stubborn acne. CBS 19 News starts right now. This is CBS 19 News with Denise DeFalla and Gretchen Carlson.
Good evening, everyone. Right now, two Cleveland men are behind bars accused of conspiring to blow up an FBI building.
Yeah, apparently the plot stretched from Cleveland to West Virginia. Mike O'Mara begins our team coverage of this story.
The arrest came swiftly today here in Cleveland and in West Virginia. Agents say this man, Floyd Looker, the self-described general of the West Virginia Mountaineer Militia, had not only targeted this FBI building for attack, but also sold blueprint copies to someone he thought was a Middle East terrorist.
Mr. Looker was arrested this morning following the transfer of a package of information, including photographs of certain blueprints of that facility, to an undercover FBI agent in exchange for $50,000 cash.
6 other militia members were also arrested. Agents say the group had amassed large amounts of explosives. According to an FBI undercover agent, 2 Cleveland area men were part of the deal. 48-year-old James M. Johnson of Maple Heights and 26-year-old Imam Lewis of Cleveland. In a court document, the agent says James Johnson delivered 400 explosive devices at the Randall Park Mall. Price tag $5,600. A second delivery was made of 600 more bombs. Price tag $8,400.
I'd like to emphasize at this point that explosives and related material obtained during the course of this investigation were retained under the control of the FBI.
The FBI says the 2 Cleveland men will face a federal magistrate on Wednesday morning. In Cleveland, Mike O'Mara, CBS 19 News.
Well, tonight, friends and neighbors of the 2 Cleveland suspects are in shock over the charges. Mark Tome is live on the east side with that story. Mark?
Well, Denise, we're standing in front of James Johnson's house on East 135th Street, where early this morning the FBI arrested Johnson. Now, we talked with about a half a dozen people who say they either know James Johnson or Imam Lewis well, and all of those people had basically the same reaction. You must be talking about somebody else. Raymond Evans. Neighbors and relatives expressed surprise and shock this afternoon on hearing that Imam Lewis and James Johnson had been jailed in connection with the plot against the FBI. At Lewis's address on Cleveland's east side, neighbors who say they know him well all had the same reaction.
Yeah, it surprised me very much. He's a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty nice fellow. I know him for a while. I grew up with him.
Do you ever express any anti-government sentiment to you?
No, he didn't.
He's a good guy. The guy, he ain't that kind of person to do stuff like that I know of. No, he got his own company. You know, he got his own company. That's his truck and stuff like that. Truck and it's hard to believe they.
And next door to the house where Johnson grew up in Maple Heights, this was the reaction.
I know he's a hard-working fella. He raising his kids, you know, doing the best he can for his kids. I know his mother and father. I know he grew up out here, and I've been out here 20 years. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a nice guy.
And even the aunt of Johnson's wife said she was shocked, although she knew little of the man.
We have children and everything else, but like I said, I don't know anything about it because we don't have it. We don't socialize, you know, understand what I mean? Me and my daughter, we go the other way or whatever. And it just that he's married to my niece, that's all I know about it.
Now, we'll be following the latest developments on this national story throughout the weekend and, of course, bring you any new developments tomorrow night on CBS 19 News. Gretchen?
All right, thank you, Mark. A major victory today in the war on drugs. Federal agents and law enforcement officers helped to bust a major drug ring that spanned the world. Authorities say they tracked down a Nigerian woman in Chicago who allegedly was using her woman's clothing store for heroin trafficking. Agents have arrested 34 alleged drug smugglers and seized 125 pounds of heroin. A boat went up in flames on Lake Erie tonight, and a Euclid man escaped serious injury thanks to a Good Samaritan. If you were driving home along the East Shoreway tonight, you definitely saw all that smoke. By the time Cleveland firefighters arrived, the boat was fully engulfed in flames, and the driver was nowhere to be found. Now, that's because 31-year-old Stephen Jones was picked up by a boater who was fishing nearby. The man was taken to Meridia Euclid Hospital. He was treated for hypothermia.
A carjacker took off with a 2-year-old girl in the backseat of a car he ripped off today. But thank goodness the crook had a change of heart, and Chelsea Richings of Cleveland is safe at home tonight. Chelsea's mom had just run back into her house for gas money this afternoon and left the car running. That's when the thief moved in. Family and police frantically combed the neighborhood, but the carjacker dropped Chelsea off a few blocks away and then abandoned the car at a shopping plaza.
My daughter's fine.
Had to have been a...
She's a little shook up. My wife's very shook up.
How are you doing?
I'm okay now that my daughter's all right.
It's like the worst kind of a night.
Your heart goes into your stomach and you can't even breathe.
Tonight, police are still looking for that carjacker. And police are looking for a man they say lured a Painesville boy away from his father's car, then exposed himself. The suspect is white, in his late 30s, about 5'9", weighs about 150 pounds. He was wearing glasses and a baseball cap and a tan or khaki shirt. He drove a reddish-orange small car. Cynthia Barnes has more on this crime.
A trip to this store on South State Street turns out to be scary for a Painesville father.
He said he was in there about 3 to 4 minutes. He came back out and the boy was gone. Just that fast.
While inside, a man approaches the 4-year-old, leads him along these railroad tracks beside the store, and exposes himself.
There are so many sick people out there, and it's scary. It's really scary.
Roberta Isabel admits that she's even left her 7-year-old inside the car outside the store, but no more.
It was always safe before, but I'll never do it again now, Right? What'd you just ask me? I'll go sit in the car. I don't think so.
This latest incident is the second time children in Painesville reportedly have been approached by a suspicious man.
Just about 2 weeks ago, a man approached 2 little boys outside this grocery store trying to lure them with candy bars, telling them if they'd come with him, he'd buy all their candy.
These people like this running around doing things like this, man, this is no good. We're looking. We got our eyes open.
And so do police. In Painesville, Cynthia Barnes, CBS 19 News.
A Cleveland teenager is in the hospital tonight after a car jumped the curb and hit him. The boy was riding his bike on the sidewalk at the corner of East 113th Street and Superior. Now, fortunately, the 14-year-old is in good condition tonight at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. The Cuyahoga Falls construction worker who died while trapped in a ditch yesterday apparently ran out of air. A coroner's report says 43-year-old David Weitzel did not suffer injuries when the trench walls collapsed. He suffocated instead. Weitzel managed to survive for several hours while rescuers tried to dig him out of the 10-foot hole. Now, federal investigators want to know if safety procedures were followed in the digging of that trench.
Well, the relentless campaigning continued in Ohio today. Senator Bob Dole got a warm welcome on a tour through western Ohio. This was the reaction at the University of Findlay as the Dole bus tour rolled onto the campus. They even had a parachuter on hand. He landed just before Mr. Dole told the crowd that he and Jack Kemp represent traditional Republican philosophies.
Jack and I are traveling across America with one single message. We believe the federal government is too big and it spends too much of your money. Your money.
The Dole bus tour also made stops in Lima and Dayton. And good news for lots of you who drive into downtown in the morning. Your trip to work may soon be a lot easier. The Veterans Memorial Bridge is scheduled to open very soon. Construction crews have been hard at work trying to get a piece of Cleveland's history back in shape. But most people told our Charles Belay they're more concerned about their trip to work.
Hard to get to work on time.
Does that bother you?
Yeah.
Why?
Gotta leave earlier.
It's long overdue. It's been, what, a year or so like that? Yeah, so I'm ready for it to be open.
The Ohio Department of Transportation says they are hoping the bridge will be ready for traffic by the end of next month.
Well, you've seen the plans for the new Brown Stadium that we've been showing you, but what do you think of them? Tomorrow, you have your chance to have your say. The city is inviting Browns fans to meet with architects who are working on the stadium project. Now, you can do so tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at the Music Hall on East 6th and St. Clair Avenue. The architects will answer questions about the design. They're even going to take your suggestions on how they may be able to improve it. Well, we all know kids love Halloween costumes that look scary, but parents want to make sure those costumes are also safe. Tonight, our Michael Burdell went shopping to try and find both those elements on the Night Beat.
It's no laughing matter. The wrong costume on Halloween night can make horror stories come true.
Well, if you buy an all-dark costume and you don't accessorize it with glow-in-the-dark things, kids can get hit by a car.
Finding a costume that's right for a safe Halloween night is prompting some parents to take a more active role in this year's selection process.
Well, something that they can see so that they don't trip over things, and something that they can fit other clothes underneath to keep them warm.
But sometimes boys and girls have different ideas about what makes a terrific trick-or-treat outfit.
Something scary so nobody would know that was me.
Kevin Graziani and his mom struck a compromise with this skull outfit. The mask that you're looking through right now actually looks like this on the outside, and our junior experts tell us there are other ways you can be both safety conscious and not look like a dork.
You could put those fluorescent stickers on your costume.
Make no bones about it.
We don't have any of the mediums left.
The safest and scariest costumes are leaving shelves now. Wait too much longer and you may have to do without, and that's a scary thought. Michael Burdell, CBS 19 News.
Or make it the night of.
Yeah, you know what the best part of the costume is, though?
What?
How big your candy bag is.
Definitely.
Huge.
And here's a look at what's still ahead.
Still to come on CBS 19 News. Having trouble blotting out blemishes? On the Health Beat, Dr. Rose has help for even the most stubborn acne. It's like Disney World in Cleveland, only without Mickey, but it's got someone better. And we'll show you how one couch potato gets around town without getting up. Plus, Carrie's weekend forecast.
It's kind of chilly out here right now. 43 under fair skies. Frosty tonight, but the weekend, I think you're going to like the forecast.
You're watching CBS 19 News.
CBS 19 News at 11 is sponsored by Claiborne Auto.
Model closeout is the best time to get a 96 Ford Windstar.
Yeah, but who has any left?
Claiborne has over 100 Windstars.
Stripped down, right?
No, Claiborne has the options you want.
Like what?
Like this new Windstar loaded with options for only $18,688. Or lease it for $188 a month for 24 months with only $24.50 down.
Only $188 a month? What are we waiting for?
Hurry in or model your closeout pricing. Call 1-800-686-3139. Claiborne Ford Route 59 in Kent.
Lake and Ashtabula counties, in the race for state senate, compare their records. Bob Gardner is a career teacher.
Dan Troy is a career politician, voting for and accepting pay raises worth over $200,000.
Bob Gardner wants families to keep more of their money.
Dan Troy has voted to raise your taxes 38 times, including the infamous 90% income tax increase.
So take a good look at the records. Teacher, community leader, family man. The choice is clear. Bob Gardner for state senate.
Set your alarm clock for bright and early this Saturday and head for the square.
Hey, they're open.
This Saturday from 7 to 11 a.m.
Morning, guys.
Builders Square is opening with great early bird specials. Like a 40-pack of Brute 39-gallon lawn and leaf bags for just $3.98. Liquid Nails all-purpose panel and construction adhesive for only 77 cents. And a 4-pack of Sylvania Double Life soft white light bulbs are exceptionally priced at $1.98 a pack. The early bird gets the deals this Saturday morning from 7 to 11, only at Builders Square, getting America squared away.
WeatherNet is sponsored by Progressive Auto Insurance.
Well, there's nothing worse for your self-confidence than a bad flare-up of acne.
And in tonight's Health Beat, Dr. Rose Gabriel says resistant acne is now getting more common and a challenge to try and fix.
You know the nicknames: pimples, craters, zits. For some, acne is intimidating.
Acne makes me feel self-conscious when I'm walking around school because people are noticing me, and I think they're noticing me for the pimple, and I don't want them to notice me for the pimple. I want them to notice me for me.
Acne in teens and even adults is getting tougher to treat.
We now see that patients don't clear up. And when we look at that group, we find out that they are developing resistance. The bacteria are developing resistance to the antibiotics.
We have some little tiny ice pick marks.
Dr. Bergfeld tells me 1 in 10 people treated long-term for acne may develop a stubborn case of resistance. If that happens, she doubles up on treatment, sometimes benzoyl peroxide with an antibiotic or Retin-A. And now, experts like Bergfeld are going back to old-fashioned treatments.
Precipitated sulfur, resorcin, some of these older agents were very good in the past. And we left them because the antibiotic therapy worked so well. Now we're returning to them.
If nothing else works, a high-powered oral drug called Accutane often does. So even the toughest cases usually have a happy ending. Dr. Rose Gabriel, CBS 19 News.
Also on the Health Beat tonight, a new study linking abortion to breast cancer is causing a lot of controversy in the medical community. Now, the study says a woman who has an abortion is 30% more likely to develop breast cancer. The researchers blame abortion for about 5,000 cases of breast cancer each year. But many doctors are disagreeing with these findings, saying the research has an anti-abortion bias. The National Cancer Institute says there is no evidence of a direct link between breast cancer and abortion.
Some Cleveland area kids today got the keys to the city. That's because it's a city they built. About 500 students built Kid City, a model town where they drew up the plans and even constructed the buildings. Everything a town would need, from apartments to a zoo. And like every new town, Kid City held a ribbon cutting with the mayor. This project aims to teach kids about planning and government. And kids had the run of the IX Center today at the Baby, Toddler, and Toy Fair. They could snuggle with some of their favorite characters like Clifford and the Big Red Dog. And parents were able to talk to more than 200 exhibitors, including some nationally renowned child care experts. And of course, the kids got right into the swing of things, testing out the slides and the jungle gyms. And the show, by the way, runs through Sunday.
And the IX Center wasn't the only place crawling with kids today. In fact, our big kid, Kerry Coleman, did some crawling himself, right, Kerry?
Hey, I have to tell you, I had a great time out at the convention center at Kids Explore.
Oh, boy,
yeah, that's me trying to scale a 30-foot, 3-story mountain out there. Also the Velcro wall, all that good stuff. Kids, should I cover that up? Stop, don't look at that. Kids, all right, that's enough. All right, so I didn't stick, and there was a bear out there as well. It was a great time to be had at a Kids Explore at the Convention Center. It's going to go on all this weekend, and I'll be out there from 12 until 2 tomorrow. Craig Robertson shot this beautiful sunset. Look at this, ought to be on a postcard. 50, I did eventually sort of stick on the Velcro wall. 53 for a high temperature today here in Cleveland, 43 for a low temperature, and both those a little bit below what we typically see this time of year. Well, let's show you now what's happening across the United States. 12 hours worth of satellite pictures will show you that generally we have fair skies across most of the United States. There have been a few showers here across southern Florida, mainly the Keys here today, but generally all the way up the East Coast and through most of the Great Lakes and off to the west, things are pretty clear. With the exception of a few high clouds that have been rolling by here and there tonight, we too have clear skies, and with that, we're going to see some chilly temperatures tonight. Let's show you some more satellite pictures, and you can see that there's some really big breaks in the little bit of cloudiness that we do have. As we take a look at a regional satellite view, if you will, over the last 12 hours, you can see just a few wispy clouds coming on by, but a lot of clear air. And with that, we're going to see a lot of frost around overnight tonight. We do have a frost advisory in effect, and already some 30s to be seen, like at Youngstown, the Akron-Canton Airport, over at Cleveland Hopkins, 40 degrees right now. Off to one of our progressive neighborhood WeatherNet locations, Greenbrier Junior High School over in Parma. They're at 41. They saw a high temperature, a modest 53, and the low temperature so far is that 41. Here's what we're forecasting for the U.S. tomorrow. It is going to be a picture-perfect weekend, thanks to high pressure, which is still basically going to be in control, but with the high sliding off to the east and a low off to the west, we're going to see a strong southwesterly flow here across the area, and that's going to bring up some nice warm temperatures, so at least the middle 60s tomorrow. And if not, better than that, maybe close to 70 degrees. I'm forecasting about 69 there on Sunday. Your Jeep Eagle Travelers forecast across the United States tomorrow. Nice day for Atlanta, 75 and mostly sunny. Chicagoland looking just perfect, 69 and mostly sunny skies. 86 really warm for Denver. And I'm close to 100 degrees anyway for Phoenix. 99 is what I'm forecasting there. Frost advisory for us overnight tonight. But again, it's going to be chilly tonight, but it's going to rebound nicely tomorrow. 38 for a low temperature tonight, but up to 67 tomorrow. Breezy, warm day. Winds out of the southwest. Generally, because the winds are going to be flowing offshore tomorrow, it's not going to be as choppy as otherwise it would be with that kind of a wind speed. 2 to 3 foot waves generally close to shore tomorrow. 63 is the water temperature and partly cloudy skies out there as well. And your 5-day forecast, just terrific for the entire weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see the mid to upper 60s, if not close to 70 there on Sunday. Chance of a shower on Monday, but really a beautiful 5-day forecast.
That looks great. It does, definitely.
Yeah, and I really did climb that mountain out there.
Yeah? And look what else we're doing. Harry! Harry, you know what they call that.
What?
A little Frenchie.
On a bear.
Jennifer's not going to want to get near you tonight.
I got to tell you, yeah, well, yeah.
Cute bear. What was that bear's name?
Lakota.
Lakota. Did it have good breath?
No.
Oh, my. There's more ahead. We're going to be right back.
Still to come on CBS 19 News, find out why problems in another country could put the brakes on a local auto plant. And a Tribe Gold Glover trades in his uniform for a hospital gown. You're watching CBS 19 News.
The news that works for a city that works.
CBS 19 News at 11 is sponsored by Jeep Eagle.
We know this is probably the last thing you want to think about right now. So don't. Think about this. Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $350 a month. Or Jeep Cherokee Sport now just $294 a month. Both have Jeep's legendary four-wheel drive system to get you through the deepest snow. So head over to your local Jeep and Eagle dealer today to take advantage of these deals. Then you won't ever have to think about this again. See your Superstar Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
The truth about Clinton on taxes? Remember?
I will not raise taxes on the middle class.
But he gave the middle class the largest tax increase in history. Higher taxes on your salary, gasoline, Social Security. Clinton even tried higher taxes on heating your home. 255 proposed tax and fee increases in all. Clinton says...
But I don't think that qualifies me as a closet liberal.
Sorry, Mr. Clinton. Actions do speak louder than words. The real Bill Clinton. A real spend and tax liberal.
Realty One presents Fine Homes for Gracious Living, a program devoted to the finest properties for sale exclusively for Realty One. Sunday mornings at 11 on CBS 19.
Mullinax is where you'll find hundreds of quality check used cars and trucks, and every one sale price below NADA book value to save you money. Because Mullinax is the nation's #1 Ford retailer, we're constantly taking in fresh trades. You'll find just about every make and model with our absolute lowest price marked on the window for hassle-free buying. And that price is always below NADA book value. Plus, you get our 48-hour money-back guarantee. Buy with confidence where you'll know you never paid too much. Buy from your nearest Mullinax Regional Superstore.
Auto workers from Parma to Lordstown have their eyes on the Canadian border tonight.
They're watching a strike that's spreading to see if it'll affect us here. Topping tonight's Money Beat, a strike has now closed all of the General Motors plants in Canada. And it's forced 2 U.S. plants to lay off 2,000 workers. The Lordstown, Ohio assembly plant could shut down by this Thursday. Experts say the Canadian strike probably will not affect the Parma plant until the end of the month. Well, some folks in Youngstown will be going off the job permanently. More than 275 jobs at the headquarters for Farmore will be cut when the company moves to Green Bay. The move comes after Farmore merged with a Wisconsin company last month. Employees will stay for about 9 more months. That's when the move is expected to be finished.
Well, if you're behind on your bills this winter, that doesn't mean you'll get left out in the cold. That thanks to a new order by the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio. If your heat does get disconnected, you can get it turned on again for a fee of $175, no matter how much you owe. But you still have to make up for those past due fees. And just ahead on CBS 19 News, the Indians are finished for the year, of course, and the former Browns, well, we all know where they're playing.
Yeah, far, far away. Then the pro sports drought is over here, though. Tonight, another Cleveland team tips off.
CBS 19 News at 11 is sponsored by Columbia Gas.
Good morning, dear.
Don't run out of hot water just when you need it most.
Honey,
Get a natural gas water heater for all you'll ever need.
you're making me late.
For comfort, convenience, and savings, make the natural choice. Columbia Gas.
All next week, they're women on trial. But are they criminals or victims of circumstance?
Court TV, Monday at 9:30 on CBS 19.
Jamie hits the big 3-0, but who's counting?
You can't be 30. Why not? Because that makes me 33.
Watch Mad About You Monday through Friday, and you could win one of 20 new Toyota Camrys. Details in the October 21st issue of People magazine, now on sale.
Monday at 7:30 on CBS 19.
Lincoln Continental, a V8 luxury sedan that has all the right stuff. Lincoln Mark 8, a 280 horsepower luxury coupe that takes no prisoners. And Lincoln Town Car, a luxury legend that is recognized as an American classic. Every one of these Lincolns can now be reached at the following number. Exclusively at your Lincoln dealer.
Revco invites you to capture special moments. Then bring your film to us. You'll get your photos when they're promised, plus all of our work is backed by our quality guarantee. So bring your film in today.
Revco, a friend for life.
At Revco, health and beauty is our business. Besides our world-class pharmacy services, we offer much more. A complete line of vitamins, cosmetics, and other personal care products.
Revco, a friend for life.
Tonight's sports report on CBS 19 News is sponsored by Revco, a friend for life.
Baltimore Orioles got into the American League playoffs as the wild card team. They weren't supposed to beat the Indians. They're not supposed to beat the New York Yankees. But Oriole fans at Camden Yards tonight were thinking fan interference, and let's go up 2-1. It was against the Yankees, game tied at 2 in the 8th. Tino Martinez for New York hits it into left field. Bernie Williams was on first base. Bernie heads to third. Todd Zeal, the third baseman, wants to throw to second here. Too bad nobody was covering second. Bernie Williams heads home. He's safe at the plate. It was 3-2. Next up, Cecil Fielder. How about 5-2 New York? Yankees score 4 runs in the 8th inning off Mike Mussina. They win game 3, 5-2. So they lead the series 2-1. Indian shortstop Omar Vizquel played all season with a bad shoulder. We know that. But it's not bad anymore. Omar had arthroscopic surgery today to fix a torn muscle and to take care of a bone spur. There was no damage to Omar's rotator cuff. He will be ready to go for spring training. I won the Gold Glove with it anyway. 3 weeks from tonight, the Cavaliers open the regular season in New Jersey against the Nets. They had their exhibition opener tonight in Miami, and they won it 79-73 over Pat Riley and the Heat. Chris Mills and #1 pick Vitaly Potapenko were the leading scorers. They had 11 points each for the Cavaliers. Exhibition for Crunch coach Bruce Miller tonight at their practice facility against the Detroit Rockers. Glenn Carbonara for the Crunch. Gets it in. Past the Detroit goalie, which is usually the way you score. That made it 12-2 in the first. Crunch had 5 goals in the first 5 minutes. This is a new guy, Obi Moname, and I can work on the name. He scored that one. Crunch wins an easy one, 25-9. Well, anyone who's betting against Ohio State tomorrow, not that anyone is betting because it is illegal, make sure you get plenty of points. Buckeyes are 26.5-point favorites against Wisconsin and Columbus. Quick quiz, Avon Lake's nickname. They are Shoremen, and they were home against Rocky River. Pirates led it 6-0 in the second quarter. Avon Lake gives it to Dave Horton, and here comes Dave. 14-yard touchdown run. Shoremen took an 8-6 lead. They win it. 30-12 is the final score. Let's see Cordell Stewart do this, huh? It's Avon Eagle lineman / baritone player Aaron Scott really hustling against Midview tonight. Eagles had a 21-0 lead. Ball on the 1-yard line. This is Zach Mitchell, and this is a touchdown for Avon. Makes it 28-0 Eagles. They win it 35-6 over Midview. The Chardon band a little excited tonight. Same with the Chardon fans. Hilltoppers at 6-0 at 5-1 Twinsburg. Chardon had a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Handoff to Gary Renner, and here comes Gary. Right at photographer Tim Jenkins, which is very convenient for us. 24-yard touchdown for Gary Renner. He had 133 yards rushing. Hilltoppers win it. 34-0 is the final score. Look, ladies, a couple of future anchor women at Nordonia tonight. Maybe not. Camera shy. Knights against Willoughby South. Adam Ludlow, a quarterback for the Rebels, avoids the rush. Right in front of us is John Pellegrini. Listen up here. That was serious. It was a gain of 15 yards. 8 plays later, it was a nice drive. Brian Cassidy gets the touchdown. South wins it 36-0. The guys from East High School were very ready for Collinwood this afternoon. East leading 12-6 in the fourth quarter. Rico Griffin at quarterback throws it out to Marshall Das Reese, and Marshall takes it from there. 37-yard touchdown play. East wins it over Collinwood 18-6. Denise and Gretchen.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Coming up next on CBS 19 News, most couch potatoes just go to the refrigerator. Sometimes they actually hit the restroom.
Yeah, but we'll show you a guy who goes a lot farther than that and without getting up.
Tonight's sports report on CBS 19 News has been sponsored by Revco, a friend for life.
How did Mullinax get to be the #1 Ford retailer in America? By turning the car buying experience into a pleasant one. In 1975, Ed Mullinax started pricing his cars instead of the customers. He figured the lowest price and put it clearly on the window so everybody gets the same low price. No haggling, no hassle. At Mullinax, you'll find over 4,000 cars and trucks, and every one will have that lowest sale price on the window where you can see it. One price, one way to buy. Mullinax Ford.
Jane Campbell gave the green flag to higher taxes 18 times. And when it comes to raising taxes, Jane Campbell is in the fast lane. Jane Campbell voted to increase gas taxes and supported the e-check emission program. She proposed an increase in the sales tax. And Jane Campbell wants to raise our property taxes without our vote. Let's end Jane Campbell's joyride and put the brakes on higher taxes.
Out here, it's Monday. In here, it's Friday. Tuesday. Friday. Wednesday. Friday. Oh, I get it now. Try our new pizzadillas. Out here, it's a quesadilla. In here, it's a pizza.
Total is $68.92. Oh no, I'm out of checks. $7 cash. Do you take this?
The one card? We sure do.
Okay. Should use that card more often.
The one card from Bank One. Looks like a credit card, works like a check.
Well, the next time you hear someone say couch potatoes never move, tell them about this. It sounds nasty, but Andy Archer is a British sofa spud who decided to prove that folks who like to lie around and watch TV, hey, they can be mobile too. He built this motorized armchair to silence friends who said that he would never stop watching TV long enough to do it. In case you're wondering, the chair, as Andy calls his invention, is powered by a moped engine and parts of a lawnmower.
Hey, it could be a new invention. You could mow the lawn in one of them things. Just sit back.
That's taking it a little far.
Yeah, let's check back in with Carrie now for an update on the weekend.
Speaking of mowing the lawn tomorrow, it's going to be a beautiful day. We're talking about a lot of sunshine, 67 for a high temperature, and that nice or better on Sunday.
We're just thinking you could do a lazy boy and do the lawn with your feet up.
Sounds like a lawnmower. That's going to wrap it up for us here at 11. David Letterman is up next with George Foreman.
And we'll see you Monday, but be sure to join Scott and Amy this weekend. Good night.
Good night.